The classroom is not the only place that bullying is a problem. How about bullying in the boardroom? A new survey shows 28% of workers have felt bullied at work. 1 in 5 left their jobs because of it, and it is impacting workers on all levels. 45% of workers who felt bullied, say their boss was the culprit. So what do you do about it? Angel Diaz is here to talk to you about it. He's Director of Recruiting for Kavaliro Staffing. Welcome, Angel. Thanks for coming in.
Appreciate it.
So first of all, I don't know if this is a duh question or not, but how do you know if you're being bullied at work? How do you know it's not just your boss being your boss?
Well, there's a number of signs for bullying. I mean, one is your boss yelling at you all the time. I think some employees are very sensitive to louder bosses. Some employees may need to be coddled a little bit more. It's just knowing who employees, what employees are working for you. I think another sign of it is being forced to do things that you wouldn't normally do, or other employees aren't normally do. Whether it's always doing the same responsibility and no one else is doing it as well.
So being singled out.
Being singled out. I mean, another sign is being left out of certain activities. Who's going to lunch today? Who's going to lunch together? Cliques at work. Yeah, everybody has a clique, but sometimes it could be a form of bullying depending on who you're leaving out. And another one is just gossiping amongst employees. So how's this bullying happening on the job these days? Is it just traditional yelling, or is there other things? Yeah, there's the old school yelling. Like my father grew up. He's like, hey, we always got yelled at. But
right.
Times have changed. I think another one is just obviously the most obvious is social media. A lot of companies have Facebook pages, MySpace pages, whatever kind of pages it may be. It's just the certain comments, hey, looking at, pointing at, the whole water cooler talk.
So basically, grade school kind of stuff in the workplace.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Wow. All right, so if this is happening to you, what do you do?
I would say the number one thing is definitely, talk to your supervisor or HR manager, depending on what kind of organization you have. There's some instances where, employee, they can go away and talk and, hey, look, I feel a certain way. But I think the safest thing to do to save everybody is just go to your HR supervisor and talk to them about it.
I know we had this survey that said these people feel like they're being bullied more. Is there other evidence out there? I mean, is this a trend that's been going on for a little while?
I mean, it all depends. I think the size of organizations can kind of mask and cover what kind of bullying goes on. I think bigger corporations, depending on the certain person, depending on your manager, depending on the owner of a company, it all depends on who's covering up, who's doing it. I mean, it can be from your employee, it can be from a secretary, it can be from the owner of the company, like you said. It depends on who's doing it. Obviously, it's going to be masked and covered up a little bit more if a supervisor, an HR manager, or a director is doing it. But I think the one thing that an employee can save themselves is maybe have a witness to that bullying. Right. I think it's often cases it's he said, she said, so it's very tough to prove that you are being bullied.
Harder to defend, though, if somebody else saw it.
Absolutely.
All right, Angel Diaz from Cavaliro, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Still to come on Good Day Orlando.